The common media trope of schizophrenia as a split personality or multiple personality disorder is a medical fiction. It is a severe disruption in how the brain processes information, where the brain loses the ability to distinguish internal thoughts from the external world. This disruption arises from a convergence of genetics and environment that causes specific neurotransmitters, the chemicals dopamine and glutamate, to misfire. They overflow and fail to connect properly between receptors. This biological misfire creates internal sensations that the brain processes as physical reality. The condition is rarely a constant state. Instead, people experience a cycle of acute episodes, or flares, followed by periods of baseline stability. These acute flares are often triggered by external factors, including high-stress environments or past trauma. Because these episodes alter a person's perceived reality, survival depends on a support system that understands exactly how the brain is functioning in that moment. Doctors categorize these symptoms using a mathematical framework. The first category is positive symptoms, the addition of stimuli or behaviors that are not normally present. These additions include auditory or visual hallucinations and intense, unfounded delusions, such as paranoia. When the brain's filter fails, it is completely bombarded by this internal noise, resulting in extreme sensory overload. During this inward phase, the brain processes a hallucination as a literal sensory event. You cannot reason someone out of a hallucination because their eyes and ears are telling them it is real. And the second category is negative symptoms. If the positive state is an addition, the negative state is a subtraction, a loss of normal human functions. Outwardly, this state appears as a void. The person may speak in a flat monotone, withdraw from social life, and lose the motivation to move or speak. This is not a choice or a sign of laziness. Biologically, the brain's reward system has gone offline, making it physically impossible to generate the energy required for social interaction. The exhaustion of the internal chaos leaves behind this external void. It is a dual-natured reality for the person living through it. We can use a mental model called the equation of schizophrenia to determine how to help. This side of the equation shows the positive symptoms, where the plus sign represents the intense visual and auditory stimuli being added to the person's experience. When symptoms shift to the negative side, the minus sign represents the subtraction of social energy and emotional exhaustion. Identifying whether the current episode is a plus or a minus dictates how a caregiver should react. When managing positive symptoms, validate the person's fear without validating the delusion. You might say, "I don't see anyone there, but I can see that you're scared." Avoid arguing against the hallucination or using sarcasm. Because psychosis impairs the ability to detect nuance, the brain may interpret a joke as a literal threat. To counter the brain's sensory overload, keep your voice low, use short sentences, and provide physical space so the person does not feel trapped. When the brain adds chaos, the caregiver's role is to act as an anchor of physical safety, rather than a debate opponent. In the negative state, pressuring a person to snap out of it is ineffective because their internal reward system is not functioning. Instead, use parallel play, simply occupying the same room, reading a book, or watching a show. This provides companionship without demanding social energy the person doesn't have. Lower expectations during these periods. Focus on small physical wins, like drinking a glass of water. Schizophrenia alters how a person perceives the world, but the combination of medication and these specific communication tools makes the condition manageable.